You ever start an anime and within the first 3 episodes, the main character just casually deletes someone from existence and you're sitting there like, okay, so we're just doing that now. That's what this entire list is about. Look, I love a good underdog story as much as anyone. Watching a character go from zero to hero is great and all, but sometimes, you just want to watch somebody walk into a room and make every single person in it deeply regret their life choices. These are the 10 anime where the main character is so absurdly strong it almost feels illegal. Enough talk, let's get to the good stuff.
Sense my sacred energy. No, it's not. This is something brand new.
Kicking things off at number 10, we have Yu Yu Hakusho, a certified classic. Yu Yu Hakusho is basically what happens when a teenage delinquent dies, gets a second chance at life, and then decides to become the most dangerous person in every dimension that exists. Yusuke Urameshi starts the show by literally dying. He gets hit by a car saving a kid, which honestly might be the most selfless thing a fictional punk has ever done. But instead of staying dead like a normal person, he gets recruited as a spirit detective, which is basically a supernatural cop with zero training and a really bad attitude. What makes Yusuke hit different is that his power ceiling just doesn't exist. Every time you think he's maxed out, the show goes, actually no, and hands him an entirely new level of strength. By the end of the series, this man is throwing punches that could split landscapes in half, casually trading blows with S-class demons like it's a Tuesday afternoon. He's got demon blood, spirit energy, and the fighting instincts of someone who's been getting into street fights since he could walk. And the best part, he never loses that punk attitude. Next up at number 9, we have the 7 Deadly Sins. This one hands you a short blonde guy who runs a bar and looks like he could get carded buying juice, and then casually reveals he's a 3,000-year-old demon who could flatten a mountain range before lunch. Meliodas is the captain of the 7 Deadly Sins, a group of legendary knights who got framed for trying to overthrow the kingdom. The whole show follows him gathering the squad back together while also dealing with the fact that he's cursed with immortality and is basically stuck in an eternal loop of suffering. Fun times. But here's the thing about Meliodas. His power is genuinely absurd. His signature ability, Full Counter, literally sends your own attack back at you, but stronger. So the harder you hit him, the harder you hit yourself. That's not a fight, that's a trap. And when he stops holding back and goes full demon mode, buildings stop existing. The ground just gives up. People who were talking tough 2 seconds ago suddenly have nothing to say. He's also somehow both the most powerful character in the room and the most emotionally devastated, which is a combo that never gets old. Coming in at number 8, we have Solo Leveling. If you haven't seen this one yet, first of all, where have you been? This anime took the internet by storm and honestly, deserved. Sung Jin-Woo starts as the weakest hunter in existence, like embarrassingly weak. The kind of weak where his own teammates look at him with secondhand shame. He's basically a walking participation trophy. But then he nearly dies in a dungeon, gets chosen by a mysterious system, and suddenly has access to the most broken level-up mechanic in anime history. What makes Jin-Woo terrifying is that there is no cap. Most characters in anime hit a wall at some point. Jin-Woo just keeps climbing. He goes from struggling against low-tier monsters to soloing raid bosses that entire teams couldn't scratch. And he does it with this ice-cold expression, like he's bored, which honestly makes it 10 times more intimidating. Oh, and he can raise the dead and turn them into his own personal shadow army. So not only does he beat you, he recruits you after. That's not just winning, that's humiliation. At number 7, we have The Irregular at Magic High School. In this one's for the fans of characters who are overpowered and act like it's not even worth mentioning. Tatsuya Shiba attends a magic high school where he's classified as a low-ranking student because the system literally can't measure what he does. He's not bad at magic. He's so good at magic that the grading system doesn't have a category for him. That's like failing a math test because you solved the problem using physics the teacher hasn't learned yet. On the surface, Tatsuya looks calm, collected, borderline emotionless. like someone who reads instruction manuals for fun. But underneath that poker face is a guy who can decompose matter at a molecular level, reconstruct anything that's been destroyed, and oh yeah, he has a spell that could literally nuke a city, casually, without breaking a sweat. His sister Miyuki is out here being the publicly talented one, and meanwhile Tatsuya sitting in the back of the classroom, quietly being the most dangerous human being on the planet. Every fight he's in lasts about 12 seconds, because the other person simply did not understand who they were dealing with. It's almost unfair. Actually, no, it is unfair. That's the whole point. Sliding into number 6, we have Overlord. What if you were playing an MMO, the servers shut down, and instead of getting logged out, you just became your max level character for real? That's Overlord, and it goes exactly as unhinged as you'd expect. Ains Oolgaun is a skeletal Overlord mage who was once just a regular salaryman playing a video game. Now he's stuck in a fantasy world where he's essentially a god, surrounded by NPCs who worship the ground he floats above. And the funniest part? Half the time he has no idea what he's doing. He's making it up as he goes, but because he's so absurdly powerful, everything just works out and everyone thinks he's a genius. His magic arsenal is so deep, it's genuinely ridiculous. Time stop spells, instant death abilities, summoning cosmic horrors. This man walks into battles the way most people walk into a grocery store, completely unbothered. The entire show is less about whether Ains will win and more about how badly the other side is about to lose. And his loyal followers, absolutely terrifying in their own right. But they all look at Ains like he invented the concept of breathing. The power dynamic in this show is comedy gold wrapped in dark fantasy. At number 5, we have Mob Psycho 100. And honestly, this one might be the most interesting entry on the list. Mob Psycho 100 gives you a main character who could flatten entire cities with his psychic powers, and all he wants to do is join the Body Improvement Club and maybe talk to his crush without being weird about it. Shigeo Kageyama, aka Mob, is a middle schooler with psychic abilities so powerful they have to be measured by emotional percentage. When he hits 100% on any emotion, anger, sadness, even gratitude, he basically becomes a natural disaster with feelings. And when he goes beyond that, structures just start floating. The ground peels up like wrapping paper. Reality takes a personal day. But what makes Mob special isn't the raw power. It's that he genuinely doesn't want to use it. He thinks being strong doesn't make you a good person, which is honestly more mature than 90% of adult characters in anime. His mentor, Raigen, is a complete fraud psychic who somehow still manages to teach Mob real-life lessons, and their dynamic is one of the best things in all of anime. Mob could end every conflict in seconds, but chooses not to because he'd rather grow as a person, and when he finally does let loose, it's not hype, it's heartbreaking. Next on the list at number 4, we have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Imagine dying and getting reborn as the weakest creature in a fantasy world, a literal slime, and then just speed running your way to becoming the most powerful being in existence. That's Ramiro Tempest's whole deal. And he does it with a smile. Ramiro starts as a tiny blue blob that can absorb anything it eats and copy its abilities, which sounds cute until he eats a dragon, gains a supercomputer AI in his head, and starts building an entire nation from scratch. This man, this slime, goes from wiggling around in a cave to negotiating international politics and commanding armies of monsters who would die for him without hesitation. The power scaling in this show is genuinely silly. Ramiro absorbs so many abilities that by season 2, he's essentially rewriting the rules of the universe. He can stop time, clone himself, manipulate space, and casually ascend to a level of existence that most characters in anime can't even comprehend. And the wild part? He's just out here trying to build a nice town where humans and monsters can coexist, and the universe keeps forcing him to become stronger. Relatable energy if you squint hard enough. Breaking into the top 3, we have Dragon Ball. Come on, you knew this was coming. We can't talk about overpowered main characters without talking about the man who literally invented the concept. Goku has been breaking power ceilings since before most of us were born. This man started as a monkey-tailed kid living alone in the woods and has since punched gods, fought in tournaments across universes, and achieved so many transformations that keeping track of them is basically a part-time job. Super Saiyan God, Ultra Instinct, every time you think he's peaked, he just invents a new color to glow. What makes Goku special isn't just that he's strong, it's that he's infinitely hungry for food and for fights. He doesn't want to be the strongest to save the world, he wants to be the strongest because fighting strong people is literally the only thing that makes him happy. His wife is at home stressed, his kids are raising themselves, and Goku is on another planet sparring with an angel. Priorities. But honestly, that pure love of combat is what makes him iconic. He's not complicated, he's not brooding, he just really loves to throw hands, and the entire multiverse has to deal with the consequences.
Were you really foolish enough to think crushing my heart would actually kill me?
At number 2, we have The Misfit of Demon King Academy. And this is the anime where Overpowered doesn't even begin to cover it. The Misfit of Demon King Academy stars Anos Voldigoad, a demon king who is so powerful he literally died, reincarnated 2,000 years later, and is still the strongest being alive. He didn't even lose power, he just took a nap. Anos walks into the Demon King Academy, a school built to honor his legacy, and immediately gets told he's not the real Demon King because he doesn't match their records. His response? He doesn't argue. He just casually demonstrates power so far beyond everyone else that the entire system looks stupid. This man kills someone with his heartbeat, not a punch, not a spell. His heart just beats and the other person ceases to exist. He destroys a castle by looking at it. He reverses time because he felt like it. At one point, someone tries to erase his existence from reality, and he just says no, literally refuses to stop existing. And it works. The show knows exactly what it is and leans all the way in. Anos isn't just strong. He's so strong it wraps back around and becomes comedy. Every fight is just him politely waiting for the other person to finish their big speech before ending them in the most disrespectful way possible. It's beautiful. And finally, at number 1, we have One Punch Man. Was there ever any doubt? Saitama is a hero who can defeat literally anything with a single punch. Monsters, aliens, interdimensional beings, doesn't matter. One punch and they're done. Sounds cool, right? Except it's ruined his entire life. He's so strong that nothing excites him anymore. He went through a hero's journey, reached the finish line, and found out the reward was eternal boredom. What makes One Punch Man genius is that the show isn't really about the fights. It's about what happens when you achieve your goal and realize it didn't fix anything. Saitama just wants to feel something again. He wants a challenge. He wants to find a coupon that isn't expired. He wants someone, anyone, to survive more than one hit so he can enjoy a real fight for once. Meanwhile, every other character in the show is going through intense training arcs, dramatic backstories, and emotional breakthroughs, and Saitama just wanders in looking like a bored egg and ends the whole thing. Genos is out here getting rebuilt every 3 episodes trying to keep up, and Saitama is worried about missing a grocery sale. He's not just the strongest main character in anime, he's so strong that the anime itself doesn't know what to do with him, and that's exactly why he's number 1. And there it is, 10 anime where the main character said power scaling and took it personally. Whether you're here for the fights, the comedy, or the existential dread of being too strong, there's something on this list for everyone. Now, I already know some of you are loading up the comments, ready to go to war about who I left out, and honestly, I respect it. Drop your picks, tell me which one had you glued to the screen, or come back and yell at me about what should have been number 1. I can take it, probably. Alright, that's it for this one. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, drink some water, touch some grass, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.